Hey, my name is Dr. Brendan McCarthy. I am the Chief Medical Officer of Protea Medical Center in Tempe, Arizona. Thank you for tuning in. It is my pleasure to be here today. I want to talk a little bit about cholesterol. Before I do, please scroll down and subscribe. Let me know you like the content. Share, even like. Let's get going here. I've been seeing this crop up in my social media and it drives me out of my mind. It drives me bonkers. Why does it drive you bonkers, Brendan? It drives me bonkers because of the consequences of posts like this. A patient presents to clinic with elevated cholesterol, and their LDL cholesterol is high at like, say, 160, 180. And I will recommend to them diet, of course, and fiber, of course, and all the things I know that should help bring that down, of course. The thing is that if they're compliant on that protocol, within a month, I run the labs, I saw that LDL come down. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. If the LDL didn't really come down, what am I going to do? What do I do to that person? How do I think of that person in that moment? Do I let them go another month or two? Do I let them go another 3 months and 4 months? What do I do? If someone has elevated cholesterol and diet doesn't work, and it could be because they themselves don't want to eat fiber. I've seen that. I get it. And sometimes it takes us time to change our diets and our lifestyles. I know that. And I'll sit down with them. I'll make a protocol. I'll give them recipes. I've sent people recipes on how to make bean soup. I've done the whole process. I've given them, where they could buy gummies that are full of fiber. I mean, I'll go down the road with them on any different way. I'll meet them halfway. They don't have to always drink that sludge of psyllium to get their fiber levels going. Whatever it is that I can meet them with. But if they're not able to do it, what do? Do I leave the LDL cholesterol high? No. So when the patient comes into clinic and they have elevated cholesterol and they have some other markers in there that give me some concern around their heart, maybe some inflammation, C-reactive protein is high, or apolipoprotein B is a little bit high, of course I want to write them a statin. Now, I'm a naturopathic medical doctor. In the state of Arizona, a naturopathic medical doctor, it prescribes medication, as I do, and performs minor surgery in office, absolutely. We're primary care providers. We're trained to be that way. We're licensed to be that way. I have a DEA license. I am a licensed medical doctor. My specialty, naturopathic medicine. That's where I came from, naturopathic medical school. So as a naturopath, our first primary drivers with our patients is diet and lifestyle. I'll write prescriptions around that, the best that they need. But I want to take care of the whole of the person first. So if the whole is not being taken care of, I will write the prescription to stabilize them. Just because they can't change their cholesterol with diet doesn't mean they should suffer the consequences. That's barbaric. Just because they themselves are not able to make the leap to fixing their cholesterol through diet, just because they are not able to make the leap and prepare their own foods, just because they're not ready to give up that diet lifestyle that they're on now, doesn't mean the consequences should be a heart attack. So I will write a statin in those cases. This is where my problem comes in. When a patient comes into clinic and I need to write a statin for them because they have high cholesterol and I want to, as their physician, stabilize them and protect them from the consequences of a high cholesterol. And they come back to me and say, cholesterol is safe. I'm supposed to have it. It's normal. This is ridiculous. You shouldn't get rid of my cholesterol. I now have to explain to them that my goal is to get their cholesterol into the normal range. Posts like this have a way of confusing people because it's not clearly worded. And this doctor, this is clickbait, by the way. Guys, this is what clickbait looks like. This is awful, this doctor, because in order for him to get to the point where he could put an MD behind his name, he has to know this. So he has to also know that what he's saying in here are triggers and are half-truths. Why is this triggers and half-truths, Brendan? Get into that. When this doctor writes out in the beginning of this, there's a lot of the thing about a half-truth about half-truth. You give enough truth in there for the person to swallow the lie. You know what I mean? It's the clickbait is like you tell enough truth in there, but there's a trigger. Oh, let me look at this. What he's playing to is our insecurities and our fears around cholesterol. When you go to your doctor says your cholesterol is elevated. That's I know from experience, a terrifying place to be. When you see your body doing something different that is not healthy in response to your life, it's a difficult thing to face. So people deal with that in a lot of different ways. Sometimes they'll be, reactive against it. And sometimes we all have different ways. Let's just put it that way. When he writes here, the liver produces 70 to 80% of my total cholesterol in the body. To think that cholesterol, a molecule that is essential that the body makes 80% of it, is bad for your health is the dumbest concept that Western medicine has come up with. Is it pronounced Eli or Ellie? I don't know. This is just, you're connecting two things that are wrong. Cholesterol is an essential part of your health. Absolutely. You cannot have any reproductive hormones. You cannot have cortisol, because cholesterol is the backbone of cortisol and all your reproductive hormones. It is an essential part of life. You need that. Neurosteroid genesis in the brain. You need cholesterol. Absolutely true. The problem is when your body makes too much of it. Your body's making too much cholesterol. It could be because you're under severe stress, or because you're eating a standard American diet, or a diet that doesn't have very much fiber in it. Whatever way that your cholesterol is high, genetics, whatever is causing your cholesterol to be high, it's now no longer a good thing. Your body operates in that Goldilocks zone for everything. And it's like estrogen, for the love of Pete. It's like estrogen. They made estrogen out to be evil for so long. And how did that help us? How did that work out? Not so good. Not so good. When they make things into this binary equation, this dualistic approach where it's evil versus good. Cholesterol is evil. That's not evil. And now cholesterol is good. Cholesterol is not good. Cholesterol is just cholesterol. The problem is if it's too high or too low. And when you post something like this, you do a tremendous disservice to people. Because there will be those out there whose cholesterol is incredibly high who will read this and interpret it that they're going to be just fine. But you are not going to be in the room with them when they have a heart attack, are you? You're not going to be there with them when they have a stroke. You're not going to be the one there to counsel their family. You're not going to be the one there to pick up the pieces. You're not in that room, but you know where you was here on your whatever platform you're using to post this and getting ad revenue because you have caused harm. I've seen your post throughout my feed adopted by so many good, innocent, kind people. And I am the one that sits in the room with these patients. I am the one that sits in the room with these patients and has to explain to them the risks around their heart. I am the one that sits down with these patients and tries to figure out a diet that's going to work to lower the cholesterol in the best way possible. But if I have to use a medication, I am the one that will prescribe it. And when I prescribe it, you don't know, because you don't know. Let me tell you, when you prescribe statins in a safe way, in a healthy way, in a smart way, you're going to give them the least amount necessary to get the best effect on their labs. 1. 2, you're going to monitor their total levels of CoQ10 in their body, because coenzyme Q10, all right, guys, let me back up. I'm fired up over this. Your mitochondria makes coenzyme Q10. It's a part of your body's normal process of generating energy in the mitochondria. It's an essential part of the equation. CoQ10 is an essential part of your health. You need that. And everyone thinks it's just a supplement. No, it's something you make and you can take as a supplement too. When you take a statin drug, it diminishes your ability to make CoQ10. The side effects that come from taking a statin are largely due to CoQ10 deficits secondary to taking the statin. That's nerd speak. But you know what I'm saying, right? This is good. You take the statin, your CoQ10 is going to go low. That's going to cause the leg cramping and feeling junky. So what do? Do I say, oh no, statins are bad? No, statin is just a statin. By the way, statins are natural. Statins were sourced from red rice yeast, a yeast that grows on red rice. That's where it comes from. Natural. All they did was take it and they made it standardized in the potency and strength. So if you take red rice yeast that you find in the supplement store, you're taking a statin, by the way. Just know that. And that statin is going to diminish your CoQ10. And also, if you're taking the red rice yeast from the supermarket that you bought because you think it's going to lower your cholesterol, there are varying levels of statins in there. So sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't because it hasn't been standardized. So that's not a good option at all. If it was, I would use it. I would be the first one to use it over the counter. I am first to use that. but I won't because it's not standardized. I can't rely on it. And it's your health. And I'm the one that's going to be in the room with you this whole way through as their doctor, as your doctor. So the first thing I'm going to do is run their CoQ10 before and after. I'm going to supplement CoQ10 with a good over-the-counter supplement. There's great ones online you can buy. There's ones I love. Whatever one works, I'll run my labs to verify it's working. If it's not working, I'll switch brands. I'll keep moving around until I find the one that works. You don't take CoQ10 without the labs verifying. You just don't do it. Because if you're taking CoQ10, it's not working very well for you. You still have side effects. You think, oh, this CoQ10 and statins don't work. I can't do it anymore. No, it's just because the CoQ10 wasn't being absorbed well. This is just basic science, guys. And these people out here who make these posts, and I know I won't get nearly as much shares with mine. I won't get nearly as many likes. I know that. But I got to say something. I sit in the room with people, and I know that I'll be their doctor. I'm their doctor. My patients stay. I don't lose patients. They stay. And I am their doctor all the way through. I still see my first patient. 20 years practicing now. So if I do this wrong, I'll be the one there. I don't want to do that to them. I don't want to do that to myself. I don't want to do that, period. Why am I a doctor? When you use a statin drug, you use the one that works best for the individual dose-wise. You monitor the possible side effects due to how how statins work through the body. You understand the biochemistry of it, the pharmacodynamics of it, and how it's going to interact with the mitochondria. It's going to affect the CoQ10. CoQ10 deficiencies lead to this. You run your labs, you monitor it. This guy had to take the same class as I did. He knows everything I'm talking about right now. Okay, this is just basic science for us. This is us doing our normal day-to-day thing as a doctor. He should know this. What else do we do? What else do I do with my statin patients, with my patients with high cholesterol that I may need to statin with? What else do I do? Coronary artery calcium scoring. That's just a simple test you do. Not covered by insurance, I know, but it's about like $100 here in Arizona for the procedure. It's a CT scan, so yeah, there's going to be some radiation, but no more than if you took a flight from like Arizona to New York. It's about the same amount of radiation, maybe, there and back again. So there's that. But that score will let you know how occluded your heart is. One of the doctors I work with, Dr. Berzins, and he does a lot of videos for us on YouTube for my practice's channel. He had a case where someone's cholesterol was high, and I love Daniel. For this reason is one of the many ones right here, but he did a coronary calcium score on this guy, and the man was like it was the highest score we've ever seen. And no one had ever done that for. He went into the hospital right away, and he had a 99% blockage. And it saved the man's life. It's basic medicine. It's basic medicine. Cholesterol is just cholesterol. The problem is if you have too much of it or too little of it. Then the problem becomes, how can you manage it safely? And then it becomes, how can you monitor what you're doing is safe? And then it becomes, how do I maintain this level of care for the rest of their lives? Some people will only be on a statin for a short period of time with me because they get it, they figure out their diet, they figure out their causes of the high cholesterol. It could be high stress in their lives, any number of different things. Some people, genetic. They're on this for life. This happens. This happens. But if you know me from my previous episodes, you'll also know me saying, yeah, that's until we figure out the epigenetics around it. I still have hope for my patients who have genetic LDL issues with their cholesterol. I still have hope and belief that we could figure this out without having to use statins someday. I do. I'm always watching. I'm always trying to learn. I'm always trying to find more. And that's what your doctor's supposed to do. Not pop out clickbait that has consequences. Because this guy's definitely not picking up the pieces at the end of the day. I hope this helps. I really do. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you at the next episode.